Hello and welcome to GC360, where news comes full circle. I'm Jessica Vickers.
And I'm Cole Rogers. On today's episode of GC360, an armed robbery occurred last Friday at the Piggly Wiggly on North Columbia Street.
The dance marathon was this past weekend. GC360 will give you a recap on the fundraising event.
Also, GC360 took a look at the Drive Alert, Arrive Alive campaign launched by the Georgia Department of Transportation. All that and more on this edition of GC360.
We start with the news of an armed robbery in Milledgeville of a pizza delivery man. Police say that the crime took place Wednesday night after 11 p.m. in the area of Grandview Court. According to the victim, a black male, possibly in his late 20s, pulled out a silver handgun and demanded money. The identity of the suspect is unknown, and police say he was last seen walking behind 2416 Grandview Court. The Milledgeville police are asking citizens with any information about the robbery to call the police tip line at 478-414-4413.
Police are looking for two men who pulled off an armed robbery in the parking lot of the Piggly Wiggly on North Columbia Street. Authorities say it happened in the parking lot on April 1st around 11 in the morning. According to police, two hooded men approached Cornette Tucker as she was sitting in her car. One of them asked if she had anything. The victim, scared and hoping no harm would come to her, showed the men $500 in cash. At this point, one man pulled out a gun and she handed over the money. The robbers fled without harming Tucker. So far, no witnesses have come forward, and police say video cameras did not reach the site of the crime.
The highly anticipated dance marathon was this weekend. Students hit the dance floor for 12 hours to raise over $100,000 for the Children's Hospital in Macon. GC360's Mary Henderson has more about the awesome fundraiser.
Last Saturday, April 2nd, Georgia College students brought their best dance moves to the Centennial Center for the 16th annual Dance Marathon. Each year, the nonprofit organization GC Miracle puts on the largest fundraiser on campus to raise money for the Children's Hospital in Macon. Students danced it out and participated in fun activities from noon until midnight with the help and support of sponsors. They were motivated by knowing the money raised would directly impact local families with children struggling with health issues.
Being able to hear all the Miracle families talk, we have about 19 families come to the event, and they each share their story. So just hearing their story, knowing that all the money we're raising is really making a difference, making an impact. So that's the best part, I think.
This year, GC Miracle's goal was to raise $85,000 for the kids, but they far surpassed that goal with a whopping end amount of $124,638.22.
I think you kind of get bogged down in all the work that it takes to get here, and there's just a lot of stress and a lot of planning and all that stuff, but always the favorite memory is when you see all your work come to life.
Though they may have left sore at the end of the 12 hours, students left knowing they made a difference for the kids. Reporting for GC360, I'm Mary Henderson.
Just ahead, we'll bring in Jai and Veronica.
They take a look at some of the live entertainment coming to Milledgeville this spring. We'll get the inside scoop on the Georgia College Dance Spring Concert coming soon.
And Georgia College intends to reduce the size of the incoming 2016 freshman class. GC360 found out what this would mean for on-campus housing. Stick around, we'll be right back.
You make me wear my bike helmet. Taught me never to run with scissors.
You tell me to stay away from drugs.
To always buckle my seatbelt.
And to follow the swimming rules.
You're always looking out for me and trying to keep me safe.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
Here in the garage.
Closet. Shuttle box under the bed.
Where anyone can get to it.
How safe is that?
How safe is that?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. If you own a firearm and are not using it, please be responsible and be sure that it's stored in a safe place. Remember, always lock it up. For more information on firearm storage safety, visit ncpc.org.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Change is constant. Technologies, careers, society. Georgia College is not about landing your first job. It's about preparing for success in a changing world. From the moment you step on campus, you have an immediate sense of belonging. At Georgia College, learning takes place all around us. Our students are critical thinkers, ready to graduate into a complex world. Georgia College, your public liberal arts university.
Welcome back. There are many entertaining events coming to Milledgeville this spring, such as the GC Dance Spring Concert and this weekend's event, Sounds of the South.
We have two special guests in the studio today to talk about Sounds of the South. To bring that to you, let's toss it over to Jai and Veronica.
Hey everyone, I'm Jai Fitzgerald.
And I'm Veronica Ulisny. So Jai, have you ever gone to see a Georgia College dance concert before?
No, I haven't, but I've been meaning to, and it's annual. It's every year. Yeah, so
I was thinking we could be a part of it. We got some moves.
Exactly.
I saw you at Dance Marathon.
You know,
I think you could do pretty well.
I was whipping and nay-nay, you know, the usual.
No,
but honestly, I think it's more of a contemporary and
more professional.
Yeah.
They probably got better moves than we do.
Probably. Well, last week we told you about some spring activities, and now we have a new one for you to add to your list.
That's right, Jai. GC360's Pierce Moggins took a twirl around the dance floor to find out more about the GC Spring Concert. I'll let Pierce tell you why this concert is a can't miss this spring.
Elizabeth Babb is a student choreographer who has been working for months to perfect her moves.
Spring Concert, most of the pieces are new. There are some that we have done from Bountiful. I know one of mine is from Bountiful, and I've taken it and I've taken the critiques that I've gotten from peers and from Miss Amelia and Miss Natalie and from ACDA, because I went to ACDA, and I've just worked and tweaked it a little bit, so it's still the same basic choreography, but it's been tweaked to hopefully make it a little more interesting and better for the spring concert.
I think we started in January for a lot of them, so we've been working almost all semester. We rehearse every weekend, and the more dances you're in, the more rehearsal you're in, so you have to be dedicated and you can't really miss a lot.
The concert will also feature pieces choreographed by Miss Amelia Pelton and Natalie King. These teachers and students get to make this concert a collaborative art piece by working with students in the theater department.
We're all given lighting designers, and they come in and they watch the pieces, and it's a very collaborative effort. They bring ideas and we bring ideas, and it kind of makes this whole other art piece in general, just an entirely different thing. But it's really, that's the best part to me, is seeing the lights with it. I'm most excited about just seeing the work on stage, because we put a lot of work into it, and it's long rehearsals every week.
The concert will be April 30th at 8 p.m. and May 1st at 2 p.m. in Russell Auditorium. Come support your fellow Bobcats. For GC360, I'm Pierce Moggins.
So, as some of you may know, Sounds of the South is coming up this weekend. We have two executives of Sounds of the South, Tyler Kelly and Daniel Nera, with us here today. Hey guys, how are you guys doing today?
Very well, how are you doing?
Good. Okay, so tell me, what is Sounds of the South? I've never been before, so I want to know everything about it.
So, Sounds of the South is a 2-night bar crawl music festival, and what that means is that we take over all the bars downtown, and we put 2 bands in each of the bars for each night. So there'll be a band going on at 10 p.m. and then another band going on at 12 p.m. And so there's music for about 3 to 4 hours.
Okay.
And then the whole purpose behind Sounds of the South is to raise money for Central State Hospital Redevelopment Authority.
Right.
And that's a state agency whose purpose is to redevelop the buildings at Central State and open them up for local entrepreneurs. So they want to stimulate the local economy of Milledgeville.
That's pretty cool.
And yeah, so we try to help them with that effort by donating 10% of our proceeds. Last year we were able to donate about $1,500, and this year we're shooting for about $3,000. So that's what we're on right now.
That's a lot. Oh my goodness. Okay, so tell me, what type of music will be featured? Will it be rock?
I'll let Tyler answer
country?
that question.
What are we doing?
We try really hard to bring a variety of genres, which I think we definitely succeeded this year. I mean, we have everything from indie rock to jam to folky blues to synth pop. So it's really it's a lot of different genres, and I think that's what's so cool about the festival is that you go from bar to bar all night, and it's just so many different sounds, so many different genres.
That's pretty cool. I can't wait. I'm excited. Okay, so how do you guys prep for the festival? What do you do?
Well, that's a pretty big question. I would say the first thing that we do is that once we have all the people who are going to be involved, the executive committee, we get together and we look for a vision.
Okay.
So we look for a direction that we want to go with the festival. Do we want to do a one-day festival? Do we want to do a two-day festival? Do we want to shut down the streets? Obviously that's the goal, but the logistics behind that it's a little more complicated than it seems, so we're still trying to work on that. And after we have the vision in place, we then move forward with getting the bands, the booking process underway.
Right.
Once we have all the bands and the contracts with the bars downtown, we can then focus on how we can make it more of a festival vibe, because since we are a bar crawl and since we are downtown, it's kind of hard to emit that festival vibe. But we try shooting for that with different little things. We have raffles and different activities for the students to get involved with.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah. What can we win at the raffles, or what can we expect?
Well, Luma is one of our sponsors, and they will be raffling off about, I think, 4 latex pillows that have a value of $120. So
seriously?
Some pretty cool and comfortable pillows.
Okay.
So we do that. Yeah, koozies too. We raffle off koozies and t-shirts.
Okay. Oh yeah, we love t-shirts here at Georgia College. T-shirts are a big one.
Yeah.
So Tyler, how do you prep for it? I know one of your bands is in it, and what's your band name?
We're called Good Thoughts.
Okay. And how long have you been in the band?
So we've been a band for 2 years now.
Okay.
But so basically, I prep year round. I go to a ton of shows all year, and I basically just listen to different bands, and I try to pick bands for the lineup who I think are genuine bands and in music for the right reasons, who are good people and play good music. So it's definitely a year-round thing for me. I mean, I can't really go to a show anymore without having in the back of my head
I got you.
Could these bands play with the festival? So, but it's fun. I mean, it's a lot of fun.
It's good. You enjoy something that you love doing. Yeah. So, okay. So one more question before we wrap up. So what motivated you to be in a band, Tyler? And then what motivated you to be president of Sounds of the South?
Okay, yeah, you can go ahead and answer that first.
I've always just loved music. I kind of found music growing up, and amongst a lot of things that I did, it was one of the things that just stuck with me.
Right.
And so that made me. I've played guitar my whole life, and so that made me want to be a band, and just music in general just really pulls me towards these type of events.
Right.
So yeah, just my love for music really.
That's good. And what about you?
Well, this is my second year with Sounds of the South. I came on last year as a freshman. And one thing that I noticed when I got to Georgia College was that there's a big gap between the community of Georgia College and the community of Milledgeville. And so I saw Sounds of the South as a pretty big opportunity to not necessarily bridge that gap, because that's a big quest there, but try seeing if we can begin to bridge that gap, and then one day finally be on with good standing with the community and get them more involved with the activities that we're having on the college, and maybe having students get more involved with the activities that the community is hosting, like maybe certain 5Ks or different things like that.
Right.
And so I just saw Sounds of the South as a really cool opportunity to try doing that, and I love music, so I just figured it was a no-brainer.
Well, that's good. Yeah, it's easy for you guys to do it. It's your passion, your ambition. But thank you for being here today. We're excited for Sounds of the South. I'm excited. You guys got me motivated to go, so thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Thanks guys so much for coming in. But back to me. What's up everyone? This week I'd like to talk to you about Netflix originals. Now, Netflix has been producing original content since about 2013. It's been some debate for a while as to whether traditional streaming sites like Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime would dominate the television viewing market now that there are so many producing shows themselves. I personally don't believe this will happen unless these producers start focusing more on quality over quantity. And I'll tell you why by focusing on Netflix. The first completely Netflix original content was House of Cards, the crown jewel. And I will not be the first to say that this is an absolutely amazing show. I still meet people who haven't seen this show, and it's something along the lines of not liking politics, which I completely understand an aversion to politics in TV shows. I hated politics, but this show made me want to learn. If you like any semblance of drama in shows, you need to watch this series. Season 4 is out right now. Go binge watch. Later on that year, Netflix made Orange is the New Black and Peaky Blinders, a British show about a gang and a crime boss moving his way up the ladder. And both of these shows were fantastic. Peaky Blinders isn't as popular as House of Cards and Orange is the New Black. It's a bit different audience, but those two shows were the beginning to Netflix originals. And since they got such good reviews, I think it was kind of an ego boost to Netflix, and then they just started putting out show after show and movie after movie left and right, and now there's more bad than good. And that's been the pattern since. Maybe 1 to 2 good shows or movies a year since, but there are a lot more that we don't know about. There's been a bunch of kid shows like Lego things, or the cat from Shrek, Puss in Boots, has its own show, which work on kids, but ultimately won't sway viewership away from television. Netflix, to combat this, made their own season to the show Arrested Development, which was absolutely horrible. But the first 3 original seasons are fantastic, and I highly suggest watching if you like dry comedy. It's no Friends, but it's definitely entertaining. There's also been a series of Netflix original releases for stand-up comedy hours, one of which I think you should watch is Jimmy Carr, which was just released about a month or so ago. His gimmick is gallows humor. If you don't know, it's like dark jokes. You have to like that sort of thing. If you do, it's good. Recently added to the mix of Netflix originals was Daredevil and Jessica Jones, which are actual Marvel productions, so that was definitely a win by Netflix. Jessica Jones was an interesting concept, but David Tennant stole the show, and it just wasn't worth watching past the villain scenes. Daredevil has been infinitely more successful, and is probably the best Marvel's gonna do, sans getting a Batman show. All of this being said, Netflix has definitely put out their share of good content, but I don't think it will ever be enough to compensate for the shows and movies we already get from pre-established production companies. Netflix will definitely show success in production of content in the future, but not to the extent I think people are predicting. I predict Netflix will continue the way they are, making a good show like House of Cards and then a rehash like Fuller House. And the opinion of viewers will not wane much. The future of television does show cable cutting, but not for the reasons of giving up our known and loved network TV shows. But after the break, Sam and Angie bring us the latest in sports. The Georgia College Club tennis team is moving up in the rankings, so find out more after the break. Stay tuned.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Buzzed, busted, and broke, because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to GC360 Sports. I'm Angela Morian.
And I'm Sam Jones. Welcome to GC360 Sports at the Circle, as we like to call it. Angie?
Are you a softball pitcher now?
No. But I do like to call it the Circle. I like to change up a little bit.
Oh, okay.
I do like a change up in softball. Anyway, speaking of softball,
right.
This weekend a little bit tough for the Bobcats. They dropped 2 to Francis Marion on the road, but did pull one back against UNC Pembroke the next day. Carly Lewis, there was a gem. Angie, a 6-inning shutout performance for Carly.
And baseball won a game against Albany State 7-0 on the road. And this weekend they take on a Lander series at home Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at West Campus.
It's a big Peach Belt competition for them. Softball also has a couple of games coming up. Senior Day on Sunday for softball would be big to honor the winningest class in Georgia College history.
And you're going somewhere special tomorrow.
Tomorrow I will be avoiding
jealous.
class in the best possible way. I will be heading over to Augusta to go take in Augusta National for a little while and enjoy the Masters.
And my boy, Jordan Spieth, is 6 under after 18 holes through. And I believe, if I can get the stats up fast enough, Lowry is 5 under right behind him, and he's still got a lot of the course to play today. So we'll see how the leaderboard looks at the end of the day. But this week, we have...
We're going to roll into Georgia College's club tennis team. Georgia College's club tennis team is headed to nationals, and for the first time, the team will vie for the national title. I went to talk to the team before they go to Cary, North Carolina.
Many folks may not know that beyond the intense practice schedule and matches of Georgia College's varsity tennis team, there's a club tennis team that has a lighter take on tennis. And guess what? They're pretty good.
When we come out here, we do we like to do a lot of match play, and we do some drills as well, but you know, we're out here to have some fun.
This is more of a party, I would say, but like we're serious about our tennis, but like we like to have a good time also.
Georgia College's club tennis team, comprised of over 13 members, is going to the USTA Tennis on Campus National Championship in Cary, North Carolina, where they'll compete for a chance to be crowned the best collegiate club tennis team in the country. 64 schools will compete in the 3-day tournament, including reigning national champions the University of California, Berkeley, and other major programs. The Bobcats traveled to 8 different tournaments this year and found out they had made it to nationals just a few weeks ago at a tournament in Auburn, Alabama.
We were at an alternate site. They played at 2 different sites, and so I got a phone call from the coordinator of the tournament saying we had placed well enough to get a bid. And so I think at that moment, just kind of being able to share that with my teammates, that was really rewarding.
The tournament, which takes place from April 14th to the 16th, is the first appearance at the national level in the club's history. The Bobcats aren't taking it too seriously, though. They're just going to continue with an attitude that combines a little competitive spirit with a lot of fun.
Everyone on the team is really nice and really welcoming, so it's just a big blast, I would say.
The thing I love the most is just the people that I get to meet, you know, the people that I get to experience every day. You know, these group of guys and girls out here, you know, some of my best friends.
8 Bobcats will play in Cary as pool play begins next Thursday.
Let's head back over to Jess and Cole.
I've got some campus news for you.
Will the crowded accommodations for on-campus housing be an issue of the past? GC360 found out how Georgia College is preparing to fix that issue.
This year's freshman class is the largest in GC's history, but it looks like that record may stand for a while. Angie has all the details.
For a number of years now, Georgia College has been setting records for the size of the freshman class. That trend is coming to an end. The university intends to reduce the size of the 2016 freshman class. Currently, admissions has accepted about 2,500 students, of the record 4,500 applicants. In recent years, more students have decided to come to Georgia College than administrators expected. Last year alone, admissions accepted 3,002 students out of the 3,968 who applied. 1,473 enrolled last fall, a record high number of freshmen.
Of course, there are some times where students you just have a crazy year where everybody wants to go to Georgia College, and it could happen on the other end as well. Haven't experienced that.
In the past, the high number of new students resulted in crowded accommodations and on-campus housing. The housing department even rearranged 4-person suites at the West Campus apartments to temporarily accommodate 8 students, which has raised controversy in the past couple years.
It's not a response to a crowding issue or anything like that. It's actually an option that we have for students that is selectable when they're filling out their applications.
Housing is optimistic in accommodating the lower number of freshmen arriving in the fall. Admissions also hopes to maintain Georgia College's small class sizes, as well as slowing the growth to fit GC's current campus. Reporting for GC360, I'm Angela Morian.
Each one of us can think of a personal incident when things went wrong while driving. Thankfully, Georgia College is taking steps to educate drivers and pedestrians on safe driving practices. Let's turn it over to Georgia Abdallah to learn more about GC's new Drive Alert campaign.
1,427. That's how many people died in Georgia roadways in 2015. An increase of 22% from 2014's number. As a result of the alarming increase, the Georgia Department of Transportation has launched the Drive Alert, Arrive Alive campaign to educate drivers about making changes to dangerous driving behavior. So how are people dying on our roadways? Kyle Collins, District Communications Specialist for the Georgia Department of Transportation in Central Georgia, says distraction is the biggest killer.
Our Drive Alert, Arrive Alive safety campaign, it kind of centers around the alarming increase in statewide roadway fatalities for 2015. We kicked this off in March of 2015 when we noticed a pretty serious uptick, actually a 25% increase as opposed to the same year-to-date numbers in 2014. And unfortunately, going through to the end of the year, we ended up statewide having 1,427 folks die in traffic-related accidents and crashes and collisions. So it's something that we were obviously concerned about at DOT because we manage and maintain the roadways, build new ones, and definitely want to make sure things are as safe as possible.
Collins added that Georgia College students should be aware while walking as well as driving. 16% of statewide deaths were related to collisions with pedestrians or bicyclists.
One death is too many, and really when we started to crunch the numbers, when we saw the increase go up, it was a lot of distracted driving behavior and folks still not wearing their seat belts. So if you think over 1,400 fatalities for the year, only 43% of the time could we actually confirm that someone was wearing a seat belt, and over 70% of the time, actually 74%, distracted driving behavior was to blame. That can include messing around on the cell phone, playing with GPS, radio, messing with the kids in the back seat, eating a hamburger, and obviously driving under the influence of alcohol.
The increase in the number of roadways fatalities is alarming, but the Department of Transportation's safety campaign hopes to curb that number.
So we're just trying to raise awareness with this Drive Alert, Arrive Alive campaign, and we need everybody's help just to realize how a few behavior modifications can really save your lives and the lives of others. GDOT is very active on Facebook and Twitter right now. I would just say follow Georgia DOT. We actually have a GDOT East Twitter and Facebook page. We post a lot of materials and statistics, updated information, just kind of share the message because we just want folks to think twice when they get behind the wheel, and also specific here to Georgia College.
The message? Every time you get behind the wheel, don't text and drive, don't drink and drive alert. If you do those things, it is more likely that you will arrive alive. For GC360, I'm Georgia Abdallah.
That's it here. For news here at GC360. When we're not on air, keep up to date on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. I'm Cole Rogers.
And I'm Jessica Vickers. We'll see you again next week on GC360 where news comes full circle.